by McCluskey, but he just kept beating him off, and right on the line I think he's been able to poke his head out and win it by a very narrow margin. From this particular side-on angle, or semi-side-on, Picata looks to be further in front than he really is. Huey Kong with the white cap responded to hard riding, and Mick Dittman had the mount on Huey Kong, and I thought the enforcer was going to lift the Newcastle horse to victory, but he just didn't go quite on with the job, and Picata fought back like a bulldog on the inside, ridden by Noel Barker, and this particular angle might flatter Huey Kong a little bit. Huey Kong's head with a tendency to bob up right on the line, which won't do him any good in this photo finish. Now again, we've got Picata from a slightly higher camera angle, clear of Gifted King. Huey Kong in the white cap. Now watch the right-hand side of your screen. McCluskey in the yellow colours and the black cap came with such a rush that about 100 out, he looked as though he'd go straight past the leaders. His run definitely petered out. 40 or 50 yards out, he just pulled up again, McCluskey, and didn't go to the line. It was left to Picata and Huey Kong to fight it out, and they came to the line absolutely locked together. And here are the numbers. The winner, number 14, Picata, ridden by Noel Barker, and a big roar went up. Second, Huey Kong, Mick Dittman, and third, number 12, McCluskey, ridden by David Walsh. Their official, 14-7-12. Ray Hadley speaks with Ernie Smith.
Well, Ernie, a narrow win, but you got there.
Any win's a good win. Doesn't matter how far it is, but he always looked like winning. He'd done a good job to lead all the way.
Mick Dittman, would he have had the first refusal on the mount?
No, he wasn't. Noel Barker was always riding him. Noel rides him in most of his work, so I think it's only fair to give him a ride race day, and he's a good jockey. Yeah,
the horse stepping up from, I think, 1,200 to the 1,400, and obviously that suited him.
Yeah, I think so. He might even need further. He's only been trained to run a short distance, but it was a good win today, so I hope he can run a mile.
Good luck to you, Ernie.
Thank you very much.
Ernie Smith, the stable foreman. John Tapper, the TJ Smith stable, supplying the final winner as Noel Barker returns to scale on Picata.
Picata is by Zephyr Zip out of Miss Personality, trained by TJ Smith, and there's Noel Barker dismounting from the winner. Live racing today from Royal Randwick on Derby Day, brought to you with the compliments of Tui's. Hope you enjoyed the thoroughbred action. More importantly, hope you backed a few winners, Gibbo.
Thanks, Johnny. Yes, as darkness falls out there, we'll leave Johnny. But you hang about. We'll be back in a moment for more of the World Freestyle.
Summer vacation just over a month, and it's been a pretty eventful period. We thought we'd take a look at what's been happening on and off the sports field in that time. So here's our sports review for the month of March. The Comeback of the Month award goes to Peter McNamara, who won both his Davis Cup singles against New Zealand.
That's the match to Australia.
It's good to see you back, Pete. The high point of the month, Russian pole vaulter Sergei Bubka.
Good run.
We have liftoff. This Japanese ski flyer had liftoff, but it looked like a sake-soaked flight. Western Australia's Tom Moody had liftoff and landing in the McDonald's Cup final. And with it went the catch of the month. In the same game, the Gibbon Beeman Award was conclusively won by Jamie Siddons.
And he's out-bowled Jamie Siddons.
Come on, Jamie, get those eyes tested. The best holiday package was put together by the Men's International Tennis Council. A 10-week holiday for Jimmy Connors. I hope you're well rested and well-mannered when you return, Jimbo. Balmain's Gary Bridge got the Sydney Rugby League season off to a great start with the try of the month.
Down the sideline, an infield pass, it'll be play on. It's been touched in flight. Bevan across the ground. Bridge is going to come right across, and he throws a big dummy, a huge dummy, and goes on to score.
This bridge sent Dorothy Ford flying to the Stuntman of the Year award. Women drivers, keep them off the road. Not on your Nelly. Oops, Dorothy. The Roadrunner award went to Carlisle Best of the West Indies. He came off second best in this tangle with Desmond Haynes. And still on the cricket field, why do administrators like to punish bowlers in limited overs matches?
Yeah, and he's out. And a no ball. Controversial.
A ridiculous rule. Tell me how a bowler will ever get Andrew Hilditch out. Come on, rule makers. Leave the game alone where possible. Keep your nose out of it. And someone should tell that to the guy in the background while this interview was conducted during the Monte Carlo rally. Come off it, pal. Haven't you seen a television camera before? The experts say, don't show any violence on TV. The kids will copy it, right? Wide World of Sports shows John Paul Sigmarsson headbutting a barrel. So what happens on the rugby field? North's prop Don McKinnon headbutts a Wests player. One good head deserves another, according to West's Alan Geelan, right in front of the ref. Don't worry about not showing the kids. What about the grown-ups? Come on, guys, use your head for thinking. Top of the hit parade for the month of March is champion welterweight Mark Breland. He disposed of Richard Aguirre in the ring. Outside the ring, Canberra Raiders halfback Chris O'Sullivan did a job on Manly's Des Hasler. During the International Rugby Sevens tournament, New Zealand forward Wayne Shelford won the Spanish Archer Award for the best elbow. Glenella was taken off. Shelford should have been sent off. Who says you can't have sixes at sevens? And finally, Ian Botham is unhappy about the treatment he is receiving from the English press over his off-field activities.
But I just wish they'd stop and remember that they have children at school. You know, my two children at school, my wife's at home with the baby.
A pity you don't take your own advice, Ian. Why don't you think about them before you act in an irresponsible manner?
Yes, it certainly has been a pretty eventful month on and off the field.
It seems we've been back longer than that, only a month, eh?
Well, perhaps it is just a fraction.
We've got a long run to go yet.
Yeah, a long run for a long run. OK, let's go down to Melbourne now and find...
Look at the pretty country track of Oakbank in South Australia, the Easter weekend, this steeple chasing's weekend of the year. The Doussa Steeple, they've that many runners this year, they've had to cut it into two steeples. This is the second of them live. Your commentator is John O'Neill.
Another one there very prominently placed as they go down towards the back of the course there was Contractors going towards the lead. Sing for Supper is up there with them too as they go towards the back of the course. Luckway and Royal Theus are the leaders as they go back towards the side of the course and making ground up and over that one, and Contract now shows the way. It's Contract in front as they go towards the back of the course and bowling along with a nice lead now of about 3 to 4 lengths over Larkway up in second placing, followed by Sing for Supper, who's beautifully placed as they go towards the fallen long for the first time. They're about 2 to 3 lengths in advance then of one going up into about 4th placing in the race, which is Demazan. Over on the inside of those then came Zamanoff as they jumped that fallen log and go towards the next one. Contract went over that one and shows in front. Goes to the second of the double. Sing for Supper is up second, running a good race, followed by Larkway in third placing. Zamanoff is beautifully placed fourth, being followed then around the outside by Gullywood making ground. They are being followed then by Demazan in about 5th or 6th placing down the side. Royal Theus is well back behind those. They came onto the side, and Jacobite is last of all. Down towards the turn here, and Contract is the leader. Contract comes to this jump at the top of the straight and shows in front by about 2 to 3 lengths to Sing for Supper. Demazan is moving into third placing, followed by Larkway, who's fourth on the inside. They are being closely followed by Royal Theus. Zamanoff next back on the inside of those, being followed then by Gullywood, and Jacobite is last of all. Contract, the leader, went over the jump in the straight here and shows in front down towards the 200-metre mark for the first time. Contract about 1.5 to 2 lengths to Sing for Supper, followed by Larkway in third position on the inside. Demazan is next. Royal Theus 2 lengths behind those. Zamanoff is next from Gullywood behind those. They are being followed further back then at the head of the rest of the field by Peter's Legacy, and Jacobite is last of all. Contract, the leader, on the way out of the straight and goes towards the first of the District Road jumps and shows out by 2 lengths. Contract bowls along towards this one with a lead of about 2.5 lengths now to Sing for Supper up second, followed by Demazan third as they go to that one. Luckway is fourth over on the inside. Then came Royal Theus behind those, about 2.5 lengths to Zamanoff, through to Gullywood, followed then by Peter's Legacy back in the second last placing, and Jacobite is last of all. Contract went over the second of the double, now makes his way to the third of the District Road jumps and shows in front here. Contract led Sing for Supper by about 3 lengths. lengths. Followed then, moving into third placing then as they go along the back of the course, was Larkway up into about third place, clear of Damazan, who didn't put in a good jump there. They were followed by Gullywood making ground, followed then by Peter's Legacy. Zamenhof is well back as they go over the Fallen Log, and Jacobite is last of all. Contract in front now. He has a fair run before he comes to the next of this double along the back, and Contract will go to this one, the first of the double out there, and shows in front by about 3 to 4 lengths. Sing for Supper is next. Gullywood is moving into third placing, being followed then over on the outside of that one by Royal Theus. Zamenhof is in that bunch of horses too. There's one gone there. Can't pick up the rider, but further back to Larkway, number 6 it is, who lost the rider, and that was Peter's Legacy, who went at the jump at the top of the straight. Contract is the leader, coming down towards this jump on the side, shows in front now. To Royal Theus second, being followed by Sing for Supper. Gullywood coming to the picture. Contract went up and over that one, and showed in front as they approached the jump down by the turn here. It's Contract with a nice lead. There's Larkway falling, coming into the home stretch. Around the turn, and Contract will head up for the run of the judge. Here's the last one now. Contract in front. Gullywood goes to second, Royal Theus, but Contract's over that one. Showed in front down towards the 200-metre mark, and Contract holding the lead clear with a few metres to go. It's Contract out about 4 lengths clear of Gullywood battling on, but Contract in the run of the line is going to win the second division of the West End Von Doussa by a very easy margin. Contract home by about 5 lengths. It's going to be tight for the amount of money. On the outside, Gullywood, and in the centre, Royal Theus, or over on the inside, Sing for Supper. They were clear then to Zamenhof, and a long gap in the field here to Jacobite, being followed back in last placing by Damazan.
Well, that's live at Oakbank over there in South Australia, Ian, where a huge number of runners are contesting the big jumping weekend. There's the Von Doussa today. There were 40 runners, so they divided into 2 Von Doussas. That was the second one live. Then on Monday there's the Harry Young Hurdle and the Great Eastern. So despite the criticism of those sort of races, there's no shortage of starters. Maybe they don't ask the horses about it.
Yes, it's a very popular weekend over there in South Australia, and about 25 miles out of Adelaide. And as you say, they had to have 2 divisions of the Von Doussa, and it cost them $30,000 for each race. That's right. Earlier on this afternoon, they ran the first Von Doussa Steeple, and Ian Maurice, it was a fairly lively affair, I believe.
It sure was, Michael. Yes, you just saw in that in the second race there, Peter's Legacy lose its rider around the back. Well, something similar happened in the first race, and if you have a look at the race, you'll see what I mean. They started off pretty well, and the horse that you've got to watch is a horse called Cause for Pride, which is running about second at the moment. They all get over this steeple jump here okay, but when they come to the next one, that's when the problem begins. If you watch the leading horses, and you'll see as they go now, the jockey, over he goes, may have got kicked there, and certainly got kicked by the horse coming last. Now, he was unhurt, but gee whiz, how he was unhurt, I'll never know. Now, if you're watching the replay, you'll see over they go, and over he goes, just overbalancing over the top of the horse. May well have been struck by that horse there. And while he's trying to escape the flying hooves, he gets another one there. Nasty, got kicked in the head. That's D. Johnston, the rider of Cause for Pride, taken to hospital for a precautionary examination. I'm pleased to say he's relatively unhurt, although I reckon that he might have a headache. Incidentally, the race was won by Cosbar, number 9. Number 2, Balkan King was second, and number 3, Mutual Boy, third. Cause for Pride, the horse losing its rider, D. Johnston. But as you can see, what a nasty headache Mike he'd have, eh?
He sure would, and the jumps jockeys are obviously just as tough as those old horses they ride, and I've said it so many times, I think we sell them short jockeys. They're very brave little fellas.
Very courageous little blokes, yep.
And he will have a headache. All right.